Today is a very special day for us and for, believe it or not, Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson right now is at the Wes Anderson The Archives exhibit that is opening in London this week. And our very own Martin Meunier is there on location checking it out with some really interesting information that you guys are going to dig. Hey, Martin, how you doing?
Hey, Dan, how are you?
Good. So you are in London right now, aren't you?
In London at the Wes Anderson exhibit, which is at the Design Museum. And tonight was the big opening for, so Wes was here, a lot of the cast, most of the crew members, storyboarders, artists, a lot of the puppet makers. And of course, we have one of the guests of honors, the Jaguar Shark. And he's proudly displayed up here with all of the costumes and a number of other puppets. And which is really interesting right now, it's displayed with the mounts that we use on the production to move it. So these rods you can see above it were motion control rods, and each was connected to a section of his body so they can move sideways, which made the shark undulate and move through the water. And then the animators would animate the mouth, the eyes, and all of the fins separately by hand. So this is one of the largest stop motion puppets ever made. It weighs over 250 pounds. And we did it to that scale because there's a motion control camera that went under its belly, and we shot it upside down. So we needed that depth of field.
Martin, you worked on the Life Aquatic. You worked for Wes Anderson through Henry Selick, right? Henry Selick actually was the director of the animated portion of the film, the stop-motion animated portion of the film.
Henry Selick was the director of all the animations. So I was hired to build the puppets by Henry Selick, and Henry Selick directed all of the animated sequences.
And then you built these at ILM, right? The old ILM building.
What happened is that we were going to shoot at the Kerner Optical Studios, which was the old ILM studios where they shot Star Wars and Hunt for Red October and all these films. And we needed a facility nearby to build the models. And at that point, the model shop didn't have any work. So we rented out the Industrial Light and Magic model shop. So we had the entire run of the model shop, which was amazing, which is quite large. And then we were surrounded by models from 30 years of Industrial Light and Magic. So it was awe-inspiring to see all these models around us while we were working on the Life Aquatic. It was an honor.
Why don't you take us through some of the pieces that you built that are on display there?
No, of course. So as you've seen, the Jaguar Shark, that's right here. And then we have quite a few puppets here. And we can start with this one. This was the Hennessy Research Turtle. So there's a point where the crew is inside the sub, diving with the sub, and you see all these creatures come by, and this is Jeff Goldblum's sea turtle. And at that point, he believes that they're all been killed, but there's one left. And it had a little light on its head, and it had a little torpedo device on its back. So we never knew what that torpedo design was for, but there it is. Next is what we call the rhinestone tuna. This was the bait for the Jaguar Shark in that sequence. So it was being dragged by the sub. And if you look at its eyeball, it's got a little cross across the eyeball to indicate that it's dead. And each creature was kind of fashioned after a pattern. So this was rhinestone. There was paisley. There were stripes. So it was all textural. Next to it is the Inverticus, Hypernicus, I think. Well, basically, this creature is in the lab, in Jeff Goldblum's lab, and these tentacles in the back, they unfold, and this whole creature is another stop-motion puppet inside of this one. So It folds on itself and unfolds on itself. So that was a really complicated puppet to build because we had to make two puppets at once.
That's cool.
This was a hummingbird fish. So there's a sequence, the same sequence where there's a descent in the sub, and you see these little guys They have these little tongues and their wings are beating like hummingbirds, and they're sipping the nectars of flowers.
Wow.
This one right here was the sugar crab. So there's a scene where Bill Murray talks about the sugar crabs are back and they go on the beach, and you see this one sugar crab, another one that's red, and a little baby, and I think the red one fights this one and rips one of his arms off. It was just a simple little scene. That's a sugar crab. Then here we have the yawning lizard. And at one point, Bill Murray looks at his hand, and there's a tiny little lizard on his hand, and it looks at him and it yawns. So we made this little guy with an open mouth and a little tongue, and the tongue unfurls. And then Bill Murray swaps it with his finger, and at that point it was replaced in the live action by a little yellow lizard model that we put on his hand. This was the most complex puppet. This was a scene where they're inside a crashed airplane and underwater, and this pufferfish comes in and looks at the black box that has a red light on it. And this had a bicycle pump behind it, so this whole thing inflated, and all of these little spines would raise as it inflated. We made these little spines the same way a real pufferfish had spines, so that when it blew up, the spines would raise with it.
And did you actually blow it up with air?
The animators had a bicycle pump. Go ahead, Dan.
So you actually blew it up with a bicycle pump?
Yeah, with a bicycle pump. And then here is a model that I didn't work on, but this was done by the Italian crew, and this is the submarine Jacqueline from the miniature shot. And at that point, this is the sub that had the rhinestone tuna trailing behind it. And they also made a full-size version of this sub for the exterior that's on the ship.
That's right. So what's interesting about this exhibition is this is the second location for this exhibition. The first time they had it in Paris at the LA Cinémathèque, France, but it was only about half the size. This exhibition is twice as big. It's huge.
It's massive.
I visited the Cinémathèque in Paris when I was considering loaning a few pieces to the exhibition, which you just showed. So the sub-miniature and Jaguar Shark are from the Cinema Relics collection. So we're very proud.
Do you want us to walk you through the exhibit?
So basically the exhibit covers all of the films of Wes Anderson, and it's quite a accomplishment, I think.
It's massive, and it's beautiful, and it's all in chronological order. So before this exhibit was the Darjeeling Limited, the Royal Tenenbaum, and Rushmore, and Bottle Rocket.
Right.
No, this is the Darjeeling Limited, but it's most impressive as we go further and we start seeing some of the stop motion puppets, because those are absolutely extraordinary.
You mean from Fantastic Mr. Fox,
Fantastic
Isle of Dogs, and so
Isle of
forth.
Dogs.
And so, yeah.
I mean, they are stunning, and the last section of it is Asteroid City, which is also just stunning.
Right.
And this is sorry. And here's the Fantastic Mr. Fox. And these were built, I think, at 3 Mill Studio, and
wow.
Andy Gent was the puppet maker on these.
So what's interesting, they seem to have the same display as they did when they were on display in Paris. There is a fine mesh separating the puppets from the visitors. It's not a plastic plexi case, so it photographs a little difficultly, but it keeps reflections happening. So it actually is in person, it's a really interesting way to display pieces.
You know, I didn't even notice.
The closer you shoot to the screen, the more you see the mesh. So pull back, if you can pull back more.
Yeah, it's incredible. I thought it was glass, and you're right, it's not.
Yeah, but those puppets are amazing. Those are McKinnon and Saunders puppets, right?
Yeah, McKinnon and Saunders puppets, and this is the Isle of Dogs. And there's a beautiful set also.
No, this is still Fantastic Mr. Fox, I think.
Yes, that's still Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh, there we go.
Here's Isle of Dogs.
Yes. Now, you didn't work on those films, but a lot of the same people that worked on those films. Oh wow, look at that close up of the dog's mouth. That's amazing.
And there's a dog armature also right here. And you can see the different scales of dogs they did. I mean, this is really hard work when you have to create fur. It's so difficult. And here's a lineup of puppets.
Wow.
And all of these have the replacement animation mouth and faces. And that's the same technology that we developed at Leica on Coraline.
That's right.
And here are the dogs. And they were done the same way the Fantastic Mr. Fox was done with, hair applied by hand.
And hinged mouths, right? They actually opened and closed.
Yes. Mouth open, closed, ears that move. And this is Grand Budapest Hotel. This model was done by Simon Weiss, who was a French model maker. This was his first movie with Wes. And since that time, he's done every single movie with Wes.
Beautiful work. Beautiful work. Massive.
Beautiful work, yeah.
Massive model.
It's massive. So we're going to show you the Asteroid City. This is really beautiful. There's a lot of models there.
Oh, yeah. Like the
And
alien
all these
model is
miniatures
super
are really
cool.
gorgeous right here.
Wow. Spectacular.
No, it's spectacular. You can look at this large train model. It's also really beautiful.
Gorgeous. Look at that. Quite large scale, too.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
Go show the
massive,
alien
but-
models over on to the left.
Yeah. That's the alien model. And look at the beautiful painting above.
Yeah. Look at that. So that is a marionette, isn't it?
I'm not sure. But it's gorgeous. The detail on it is beautiful too. It's just so... And you can look at the feet.
Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful piece.
Yeah, it's
And
beautiful.
that's
Let me see
that's
what
a
it
stop
says.
motion model as well.
It's you have a stop motion, yes. It's stop motion puppet.
Beautiful stuff. Well, Martin,
You can see the joints. Look, you can see the joints in the hand, the little ball joints in the hands and the feet.
yeah. So, Martin, how long does this exhibition go to? Do you know?
6 months
6
here
months? Okay.
in London. And then,
And then
I
it
think
travels, although we don't know where it
It
travels
travels.
to. I don't think we
Yeah.
have any information on that.
Norway.
Oh,
Norway
Norway.
next. Yeah. I think
Wow.
it will end up in the US, right? In a year or a few years. I hope.
Norway's, Italy, and then Japan.
Oh, so Norway, Italy, and then Japan.
Wow.
But it's
Great.
fantastic. It's like you could spend hours. You could spend a full day here looking at all
Yeah,
of the
I'm
detail.
sure.
That's
Very
really
cool. So, Martin, what's your favorite piece there at the exhibition? Does anything stand
say that
out?
again?
Your favorite piece. Is there a piece that you were surprised to see that you really thought
my
was
favorite
amazing?
piece in the
Yeah.
exhibit, it's some of the Rushmore costumes. I will show you.
Okay. Now,
Simply because
while you're taking me over there, hold on a second. While you're taking me over there, I heard Wes Anderson was there tonight.
Oh, he was there. Wes Anderson was there. Ben Kingsley was there. Also, Tilda Swinton was there.
Wow.
Fisher Stevens was there.
That's cool.
Denny Harrison. There was a few celebrities. This is some of my favorite pieces. That the painting from Rushmore with Bill Murray
Look
and
at
his
that.
twins, the evil redhead twins. I think it's such a fantastic painting. And look, there's the suits.
Yeah, with the hat.
Yeah.
So, Jason, who is with you, our producer, mentioned to me that when Wes was talking, he actually called out your name. He actually mentioned you. What was it like hearing that from
Oh,
the
it was
man
great.
himself?
I had it on video, and then afterwards I went up to him and I thanked him for pronouncing my name correctly. So he was like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to say it the right way because I know you're French, and I didn't want to say Martin. I wanted to say Martin in French." So it was really sweet.
That's cool. That's cool.
And I also told him the Harryhausen story from the Life Aquatic when I brought Harryhausen to see the Jaguar Shark, because Ray Harryhausen, who was one of the greatest stop motion animators
Of all
and
time.
puppet builders.
Yeah.
He told Harryhausen told me that that he built the biggest stop motion puppet, and I told him, I don't think so. I think we did when we built the Jaguar Shark. And so I brought him to see it, and he looked at me and he said, "You're insane! It is the biggest stop motion puppet ever." I was really pleased about that. And when he left, and when everybody was saying goodbye, he rolled down the car of his window, leaned out of the window, raised his fist, and said, "Viva stop motion!" And I was like, "Wow!" This was
Surreal,
the cherry on top of the cake for me for working on Life Aquatic. Having Harryhausen look at me and said, "Viva stop motion!" I was like, "This is one of the proudest moments of my life."
That's awesome.
So I told that story to Wes. He didn't know, so he laughed.
That's great. That's great.
The show is great. So anybody who has a chance to come and see it, it definitely it's a must. There's so many details, so many pieces of paper. There's a script over there that's really fun. It's script from one of his plays. So there's so much detail and everything.
Yeah. Well, and he's a saver, right? He's definitely kept most of this stuff. I mean, honestly, the only reason I wound up with the shark and the sub was because the Disney Archives got it as part of their deal.
Yeah,
and otherwise Wes would have kept it.
Probably, but he's kept also very small pieces. And look at the attention to detail. There's every letter in the movie that he reads. The letter was really, written. There's book covers. There's every little part of that world.
I don't think there's many directors that are more have attention to detail than Wes Anderson does.
Yeah, for sure.
He is soup to nuts. He knows exactly what he's making, and it's his way.
Well, I mean,
and it shows.
Everything is painted by oil. These are real oil paintings. Every piece of artwork in the show is real. Yeah. I was looking at some of the paintings in the background of the puppets from Fantastic Mr. Fox, and they're miniature oil paintings. So they're not photocopies. They're really miniature oil paintings.
Amazing. All right, Martin. Thanks a lot for checking it out. Go have a few drinks with Jason and have some fun. All right.
We're invited to the after-hour party, so we're gonna go.
Well, have fun. Thanks a lot.
Right. Thank you, Dan.
Tell Jason thanks.
I will do.
All right. Later, buddy. Bye.